Construction has begun on a new Ukrainian rocket fuel production facility in Denmark. The project marks a significant expansion of defence-related industrial cooperation between Copenhagen and Kyiv at a time when the security landscape in Europe continues to be shaped by Russia's war against Ukraine. On December 1st, Danish and Ukrainian officials gathered in the town of Vojens to formally mark the start of construction on the Firepoint solid rocket propellant plant, which will be operated by Firepoint rocket technology. The groundbreaking took place in the presence of Denmark's Minister of Business and Industry, Morten Bødskov, local municipal leaders, and Firepoint's Chief Executive Officer, Vyacheslav Bondarchuk. The ceremony began with the Danish minister, the mayor of Haderslev municipality, and the Firepoint chief executive standing together at the construction site. The group posed for photographs before taking part in a symbolic start of work moment beside heavy machinery positioned on the grounds. A digger was then put into operation for the inaugural demonstration, with Bødskov himself briefly taking the controls to emphasize the significance of the project and Denmark's commitment to supporting Ukraine's defense capabilities. Workers continued operating the equipment as officials prepared for remarks. During the event, Morten Bødskov spoke to assembled guests, outlining the reasons Denmark agreed to host the facility. He said the decision stemmed from both the current security environment in Europe and the need to ensure Ukraine has safe and reliable production capacity for materials that cannot be manufactured inside the country during wartime. In his remarks, he stated,
"There's war in Europe, and we need to help our Ukrainian friends in their fight for freedom. They need a secure place to have a production like they are establishing here. That's the first reason. Secondly, of course, they are bringing new technologies to the area here. This is an area that for generations have been involved in defense industry, and by having Firepoint, you not only are bringing in traditional defense production, you also bring in new technologies within the defense area."
The visuals showed local residents, municipal representatives, and officials from both countries listening to the speeches. Danish and Ukrainian flags were displayed around the gathering area, reinforcing the bilateral nature of the project. Nearby signage marked the location of Skridstrup Air Base, which lies close to Vojens and highlights the region's long-standing connection to military activity. Roads, residential areas and town landmarks were also shown, providing geographic context for the facility's construction site and the surrounding community. In a second statement, Bødskov addressed the long-term security implications facing Europe as the war in Ukraine continues. He said Denmark expects the threats posed by Moscow to remain a central factor in European defence planning. He noted,
"It will continue. I mean, the threats that we are facing, especially from Russia and Putin towards Europe, I mean, they have gone on for, a decade now. And he continues to be a threat towards Europe, and we have to ramp up our defense."
His comments reflect a consensus across multiple European governments that defense cooperation and industrial capacity will need to be expanded significantly in the years ahead. In a third set of remarks, Bødskov underscored the broader strategic environment Denmark sees today and the importance of hosting the Firepoint facility under secure conditions. He stated,
"It's clear to everybody that we are living in new times. I mean, the threats towards Europe, they are direct. Now they are unfolding in Ukraine. You see hybrid warfare, but I'm pretty confident that we'll manage that. It's important, as I said, for us to have Firepoint here, to have their production here, and no compromises are made when it comes to the security of the production, of course, but also for the local community."
His statement emphasized both national and local security priorities in Denmark's approach to the project. Following the Danish minister's remarks, Firepoint CEO Vyacheslav Bondarchuk explained why the company decided to relocate production outside Ukraine and why Denmark was selected as the preferred host country. Bondarchuk said that Ukraine's wartime conditions made it impossible to scale up industrial capacity for solid rocket propellant without unacceptable risks to workers, facilities and the broader supply chain. In his words,
"We need to scale up production, which is impossible in Ukraine. And if we choose which country, the Danish country, I would say, the most welcoming to us.
He further detailed the security challenges inside Ukraine that prevent the construction of a large-scale production plant, emphasizing that persistent Russian attacks against industrial and energy infrastructure create conditions in which such a facility could not be safely operated. As he put it,
because it's attacked every night and it's impossible to build a big-scale production. Yeah, it could be destroyed every night.
Bondarchuk then described what will be produced at the new site in Vojens. The facility will manufacture solid rocket fuel, which he described as a dual-use component relevant to both military and aerospace sectors. In his technical explanation, he stated,
We are going to produce here solid rocket fuel, or in other words, it's propellant. It's a fuel for rockets, and it's like dual-use component that could be used as well as a military program, as well as airspace program.
During the event, images showed participants arriving for speeches, listening to remarks, and observing the symbolic start of construction. Several shots featured local and national flags, signage marking the nearby airbase, and the town environment around Vojens. The presence of the Skridstrup airbase sign served to underscore the region's defence-related heritage and its connection to Denmark's broader military infrastructure. Additional footage included wide shots of residential districts, commercial areas, and roads leading into and out of the town, illustrating the community context in which the new industrial facility will operate. The decision to establish the rocket propellant plant in Denmark demonstrates Kyiv's attempt to secure reliable defence production capacity without exposing critical facilities to Russian strikes. By relocating this segment of its defence industry, Ukraine aims to expand production of key materials needed for its missile and rocket programs while minimising risk to workers and equipment. Denmark, in turn, is positioning itself as a secure partner and host for specialised industries tied to Europe's defence posture. The move aligns with Copenhagen's broader commitments to strengthen Ukraine's capabilities and reinforce European defence readiness. The ceremony also highlighted the long-standing defence industrial background of southern Jutland. Danish officials stressed that the Vojens area has for generations hosted defence-related activities, making it a suitable location for new technologies and advanced production lines. Firepoint's arrival is expected to contribute to the local economy while integrating new technical expertise into regional industry. Throughout the speeches, Danish officials consistently emphasised the security dimensions of the decision. Bodskov noted that the threats facing Europe have shifted significantly and require more robust defence cooperation, particularly as hybrid warfare and conventional attacks continue in Ukraine. His remarks frame the Firepoint project as part of Europe's adaptation to evolving strategic conditions. Bondarchuk's comments, meanwhile, offered insight into Ukraine's industrial constraints under wartime conditions, with missile and drone strikes regularly targeting infrastructure across the country. Relocating production of sensitive materials has become essential for continuity. The CEO's statements reinforce the practical and security-driven motivations behind moving the facility abroad. The facility's production focus on solid rocket propellant places it within a critical segment of defence manufacturing. Propellant is central to a wide range of systems, including tactical rockets, missiles, and various aerospace applications. The dual-use nature of the material means the new facility could support both defence and civilian aerospace needs, depending on future arrangements and regulations. As construction begins, Danish officials have reiterated that security measures will be strict and that no compromises will be made in protecting the facility or the surrounding community. This includes both physical security and protocols for handling sensitive materials. The partnership between Denmark and Ukraine on this project underscores a broader trend in Europe, increasing willingness to integrate defence production across borders in response to long-term threats. With the war in Ukraine continuing, European states are strengthening ties, expanding industrial capacity, and attempting to reduce vulnerabilities in their supply chains. Across the visuals and statements recorded during the ceremony, the core themes remained consistent. Ukraine requires secure and uninterrupted industrial support. Denmark is prepared to provide a safe environment for high-risk production, and Europe is adapting to a security environment defined by sustained threats from Russia. The groundbreaking in Vojens marks the beginning of what both governments expect to be a long-term cooperation on rocket fuel production. As officials emphasize, the move reflects changing European defence realities and the strategic need to ensure stable production of critical materials. With construction now underway, the facility is set to become a key component of Ukraine's defence supply chain, while contributing to Denmark's role in Europe's broader security framework. The development represents a practical response to wartime pressures and a shared effort to maintain industrial resilience in the face of ongoing military threats. This marks the beginning of Denmark-based production of solid rocket propellant for Ukraine, established to ensure safe, secure and uninterrupted manufacturing during the ongoing war.